Good morning. Today for breakfast I am making us popovers. We've had some friends ask for the recipe to be done, and it's another one of those simple ones, so it's really easy to do. It's a little bit different than most of the recipes that you'll see in cookbooks because we have chickens and we have a lot of eggs, so I have a tendency to use quite a few eggs in them. And this recipe can be used for popovers, Dutch babies, or crepes. It works for all three of those things. You could even use it for making a vegetable-based Dutch baby, I guess it would be. Anyway, I have a cup of sifted flour, a cup of warm milk with a tablespoon of butter, and they have been melted together so that it's nice and warm, because you want your ingredients to be fairly warm when you make popovers. It usually calls for room temperature, but I found that by warming the milk and melting the butter in the milk, it really kind of helps the whole thing go together. In fact, I'm going to warm this up just a little bit because it has been sitting and it's gotten cold. So I'm going to add the cup of flour that has a half a teaspoon of salt in it. And I have muffin tins. These are popover tins, or large muffin tins. They are bigger than a regular muffin tin. So this recipe will do 6 of the popovers. I've had these are iron. They're steel muffin tins. I think I've had them for, maybe 40 years or so. And I'm going to spray them with a cooking spray. I find that using a cooking spray makes them release much easier than just butter. Yeah, I microwave this for a minute so the butter is nice and melted and the milk is hot. I'm going to add the eggs one at a time, and I'm putting 4 eggs in this. And you beat them in one at a time. I think you could also do this in a blender. I do it in a blender when I'm making the crepes, because then you don't need to let the flour hydrate. It just gets it going right away. If you were using regular muffin tins for this batch would make 12 popovers. But since I'm using the larger popover tins, it'll make 6. When the kids were growing up, we made Dutch babies pretty frequently with blueberries, because we always went and picked blueberries. It was one of those regular breakfast dishes for us. And it's basically the very same recipe. It's fairly versatile. So this is what it looks like. It's like heavy cream. in consistency, which is what you want. And you fill the muffin tins or popover tins 3/4 of the way full. Mixing the batter up in a pitcher that has a spout makes putting the batter into the cups really easy instead of dipping it with a ladle. Initially, the temperature that we're baking these at is 450, and we bake them for 12 to 15 minutes at 450. And then you reduce the temperature to 350 without opening the door. You don't ever want to open the door when you're cooking popovers. And then you bake it for an additional 15 to 20 minutes, depending on how crisp you want your popovers to be. I like my popovers to be somewhat custardy, so I always bake them for only about 15 minutes more after the initial time when you reduce the temperature. Okay, these are going into the oven now. I'm going to set the timer for 12 minutes and go have my cup of coffee. Okay, I've just reduced the temperature to 350 and we'll bake it for another 15 or so minutes. Anyway, we'll be back again soon. And here are our popovers. And they're pretty magnificent. They're going to lose their height here in just a second because I like custardy popovers, they're going to shrink down here really rapidly. But that is just fine. So we'll pull these out. Now, if you want a crisper popover, you can bake them a little bit longer, maybe up to 5 minutes. And then what you do is you cut the side of them so that the steam is released out. You just cut the side, and then the steam, as you can probably see, there's probably steam coming up. So they will stay more puffy. But I like custardy popovers. Yep, they're steamy. Anyway, Astria will write the recipe up so that you can see what the ingredients are and how many to put in. You can also add shredded cheese to this when you fill up half of the muffin tin. You do half of the batter and then you'll add a pinch or two of shredded cheese and then you add the rest of the batter to it and then you'll have a nice cheesy muffin or popover. Anyway, that's it for today. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.